Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Welcome to the morning hookup. I guess we're going to call it the Thursday edition. And the sun came up today, great day. And boy, I mean, you can feel the anticipation, maybe slash anxiety in the air today. And I think we'll cover all of that on hopefully some reasons to not have the anxiety today is hopefully the Nebraska men's basketball team can break this 0-8 curse that, of course, that the media makes a bigger deal about than I think down there. I mean, Elijah, you probably agree.
Yeah, 100%. I think on one hand, it's a motivating factor. Hey, everyone else has already lost. What's the pressure? There's no pressure on you.
No, there's not. There's not. So
You have nothing to lose. If you lose, then nothing changes.
Right.
But that being said, it's going to be a storyline. It's going to be hit on hard. I'm going to try to find a way. I can't use the web stream. I'm going to try to find a way to sync up the actual radio call with the TV because I don't care to hear the national announcement.
No, you don't because
this today is a game for Kent development.
Yes, it is. Because Kent obviously. I think we've talked about this on the show. I can remember falling asleep listening to like the 82, 83 team when I should have been in bed. When you knew conference games were always on Wednesday and Saturday nights, and my mom knew I was listening, but she didn't say anything because Kent's a Northeast grad. My mom was a Northeast grad. Not that probably played a part that I shouldn't have been up listening that late, and so he's obviously been with doing the basketball for a long time. So I think it means a lot to him. We'll talk about that. Lady Huskers last night. We'll talk about their play-in game win. Looked really crisp in the second half. It's just, I mean, you look outside today, and it's not going to be 20 degrees with chance of flurries and a north wind in your face. That's not happening today.
It's 80.
It's going to be 80. Hey, you know what, Elijah? I'll ask you this: do you ever have some days that you have a lot going on in a good way that you're like just really excited for the entire day?
Yeah,
the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's just chock full all the way
chock
through.
Full,
one thing to do after another, but
yes, jam packed full, and that's my day today. So at just a stone throw before 8:00 when I'm getting ready to come leave the house. Got the folks rolling in. I'm getting a brand new water softener system, so I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Then I get to come here and talk sports with you.
Can I say quickly? You know you're getting old whenever you get excited about a new water softener.
I'm excited to be. Well, you're not married, are you? That makes the wife happy.
Happy
wife, happy life. See. So there you go. That has a lot to do with that. It's not that I was, I'm going to have such smooth skin. It's going to be great. No. And so then I get to come and do the morning show with you guys. Great. Get a race home, even though I found out that our sister station is doing something down in the rail yard.
Yeah.
I encourage everybody to go do that, obviously, but I haven't got to the rest of my day yet. The rest of my day might spiral if I go down there.
Yeah, we can,
regardless of where I'm at.
Our good friends down at Kicks,
right?
Yes, they've had their full day down the rail yard as a name, and now it's escaping me.
We'll get JP and we'll see what that's called.
Okay,
maybe we get him in here. Maybe we can even get him in here and talk about that. We'll see. So yeah, and then I get the Husker game at 11:40.
Yeah.
When that's over,
I like that they're not making you wait today. By the way,
no,
I like that it's bright and early. Everyone's going to talk.
Team doesn't have to wait. So when that's over, I get to drive out to Bennington.
Yeah.
Opening
day of
high school baseball today. Because the Northwest Falcons will take on the Bennington, whatever they are. Badgers. Okay, we'll go with Badgers. Sure. Isn't someone else a Badger too? Didn't we have some other? I want to say we had other Badgers down at the state tournament.
Well, didn't you go down? Weren't you down there for that Lincoln Pius X and Bennington?
Okay, maybe it was just them that were the Badgers. So when his game is over, I am beelining down to KC for a national qualifier for myself for old man softball.
Wow,
it's supposed to be 91 tomorrow. So I went from totally freezing with that north wind in my face 2 days ago to tomorrow. I might have stage 4 swamp butt by noon. Boy, we're getting all 4 seasons here in 1 week. I love it.
That is a day, though.
That is a day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm just here on phase 2.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna do this show. Go watch Husker basketball. Watch some more basketball. do a show this afternoon, talk about what happened with the Huskers today. Watch some more basketball.
Hopefully in a good manner.
Well, what's your confidence level? How are you feeling now that the morning of has rolled around?
7.5.
Okay.
Is that
okay? Good.
I mean, basketball is basketball. I mean,
there are things with that Troy team that do concern me.
Sure,
but I think there's a lot more things with Nebraska that give me confidence. If Troy were to go out and win this basketball game, to me, they would do it because they get on the offensive glass. I think it would be because what do they call him? They call him the Mexican Luca. I can't remember his name now. I have a picture of him pulled up somewhere. He's kind of he doesn't like shock you with his quickness. He's kind of a I don't know. Good stop-start ability, but not super fast. Good ball handles, can kind of shoot it from anywhere.
Does the improvements that Burkett
Valdez is his name?
Does
Victor Valdez?
Does the improvements that
we were told in our other show, if you look at the stream here, that he's got George Michael hair.
George Michael's no longer alive.
Yeah, but think back to the Wham days.
Wham.
Yeah, we. In the Average Joe Sports Show, somebody was saying they thought he had George Michael hair. What do you think? Because you are the expert on this.
I don't see it off firsthand, but George Michael's hair changed quite often, so yeah. maybe one.
Anyway,
well, but much has been said about the improvement of BK, not necessarily on the offensive end, but what he does defensively. Is this a chance for BK to go out and show his worth on the defensive side of the ball, locking someone down like that?
It's a dirty work game for him.
Right.
It's not about him doing anything special. It's about going out there, being a defensive stalwart, being a guy who boxes out. This is not a game where I'm going to be incredibly upset if Sam Hoiberg is a big rebounder again, because that to me means that
5 guys are crashing.
And it means that Rink and Burke are doing their job.
And boxing out.
And
no one's boxing him out.
And getting the little guy an opportunity.
Right.
So I'm not too upset
what
do you
if that is. What do you think Troy's worry level is?
They got to be worried about Nebraska splashing.
I mean, if you've read any of the social media this week, you would think that this is an 8-9 matchup. And I'm not saying that, hey, don't have some reservations and that Troy isn't deserving and doesn't have some good qualities.
They're a tournament team.
But we're a 4 seed.
Troy's a tournament team for a reason. They have some qualities that are good.
And we're a 4 seed for a reason.
This is not a nightmare matchup.
No, absolutely not.
There are nightmare matchups out there. I think if Nebraska were to win today, it'd be better for Vandy because I think McNeese State is a nightmare matchup for Nebraska. That's looking way too far ahead. We can get there when we get there. McNeese State is a bad matchup, I think, for Vandy, and I think they're a nightmare matchup for Nebraska. They force more turnovers than anyone in the country. They barely turn the basketball over. They generate 9 extra possessions for themselves a game just based on turnovers. They knock down threes at a decent clip, but then they're also a great offensive rebounding team.
Sounds Iowa-ish.
They are, what's the best way to put this? They're a team that's built to take down giants in the NCAA tournament. McNeese State is. That's how they're constructed this year.
Constructed to take down giants, but not beat your fellow mid-majors?
All
right. We'll go with that.
That's just how I feel about them because they're willing to go out there and take the kind of chances that can go and get you upsets. So I'm more worried about McNeese State, but that's looking too far.
Let's worry about today. Because, let's face this, Elijah. I don't think Vegas, upsets happen, but Vegas isn't in their industry to lose money. And whether you want to go with the 14 points, 12.5, wherever it's at right now. Now, if you wanted to go and have a panic attack today, if this spread came out and it was anywhere between 1 to 3 points or it was a pick 'em, okay, yeah, I get it. You can have a panic. And I'm not saying that this is foolproof and we're 100% going to win, but the experts put this at 12.5, which means if you go in and you take care of business and you play your game that they have to go and prepare for, take care of the ball and not just give the free extra possessions. Yeah, they're going to get an offensive rebound. It happens. Mm-hmm. But don't let them have 12 offensive rebounds. Take care of your business and show why you're a 4 seed. But, maybe 4 seed is a little bit too high. We saw everyone saying that. Why is that? Well, because Nebraska finished 6-6 in their last 12 games. Well, you're right. They did. In what conference? They did that in the Big Ten. 2 of those losses were to Purdue, who, unless last time I checked, that's one of the hottest teams in the country, and was a preseason number 1 team. You lost to Illinois, who is a 3 seed. You lost to Michigan, which we were 2 players down at their place, is up there. UCLA playing some of their best ball in the tournament, and you lost to an Iowa team in the tournament. Yeah, it is 6-6. But it's not like you went out and lost to Northwest Utah State College of Shoplifting. There's not a quad 4 loss on there, is there?
Well, and look at what happened to Purdue. Why isn't Purdue scuffled down the stretch? Illinois scuffled down the stretch. It's what's going to happen in the Big Ten when you're playing in a conference like this, where you start playing teams a second time.
It's cannibalism.
They're really well coached. Purdue lost to Ohio State, helped them get into the tournament. Purdue barely squeaked past Northwestern. Looked like Northwestern was going to win that game all game long. They didn't play their best basketball. They lost to Wisconsin. They lost to Sparty at home. And to their credit, they turned it on at the right time in the Big Ten tournament. But these teams, it's very, very difficult in the Big Ten once you start playing a team a second time and you're playing on the road against how well coached these teams are, how physical and how, what's the best way to put this? The season becomes a drag by the end.
It is. A 20-game conference schedule can be brutal. You know what's funny? And I didn't do this on purpose, and I guess I can kind of let the cat out of the bag. I mean, don't do what I do just because I think I know a lot. So I'm filling out my bracket, right? And it wasn't intentional. And I get down to the Final Four, and I look down, and I just went matchup on matchup, right? And I realized that I had 4 Big Ten teams in the Final Four. It wasn't intentional either. I had Michigan, Purdue, Illinois, and UCLA.
I also have UCLA making an Elite 8 run, just to let you know.
But do you have them beating Duke?
I have them losing to Kansas.
Okay.
I have Kansas beating Duke.
Wow.
I was looking at my bracket this morning, and I felt good about it up until this morning. I looked at my bracket this morning and went, this is the worst bracket ever. That's always how it goes for me.
But when you think it's the best bracket ever, that's usually when you start drinking profusely about 4 p.m. on Thursday because it's already shot, right?
So I'm not sure how you fill out your brackets. I go, and usually on Monday, I kind of go a vibes, quick feel. This is my reaction. And then I'll do some research through Tuesday and into Wednesday. And then I'll kind of go and make some alterations. So by the time Thursday morning rolls around, I'm kind of locked in. And I don't know. This morning I was looking at it and I'm like, what was I doing?
Don't overthink it. You got those people that go off of colors and mascots and mother's maiden names and stuff like that to fill theirs out, and those are usually the ones that win it all.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not it's not all the experts. So I mean that's what makes it fun.
We'll see. But to lock back in on this Nebraska and Troy matchup before we step aside and get Bill Hooks in the show, he's hanging out in the green room.
Is he?
From Oklahoma
all right.
City. We'll get him on here in just a second. The why Nebraska wins this game to me today is they just have talent and shooting that Troy's never seen before. Simple as that. This Troy team has not played anyone of Nebraska's quality this year. They have not had to stand a shooter like they're going to have to with Price Sanford today. They're not going to have, I think, a guard that they've played this year like Sam Hoiberg, who can go and get 2 feet in the paint and cause issues that way. They haven't played a big like Rink Mast, and I think Rink Mast has a really good matchup today. He's going up against a 6'9", kind of gangly and somewhat uncoordinated looking center. It's not an Oscar Clough. It's not a Kohler from Michigan State. You have a guy that's a little bit skinnier. He stands at 6'9". He's a decent athlete in terms of his jumping, but like kind of looks gangly and uncoordinated when he's out there. This should be a Rink Mast physically,
especially with his bevy of moves too.
Go to work down low type game. There is just a lot that Troy has not seen so far this year. Now, the concern would be that Nebraska gets off to a slow start. Troy gets some confidence. They start getting some work on the offensive glass. They're willing to put up threes, and if those threes start falling, it can get dangerous. Like there are things that Troy has in their arsenal that can stress this Husker basketball team.
And the longer you let them hang around, the more those come to fruition.
100%. But Nebraska's got a lot more things that Troy just has not seen this year.
And for me, you know what that is? It's going to be that defense.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk all we want about, the shooting and stuff like that. And Troy said that they run a defense similar. We'll see. Nebraska's defense, I think, will give them absolute fits. So Well,
a lot more coming.
We'll take a break.
We have one Bill Hooks and one Husker legend, Henry T. Buchanan, standing by in the green room, ready to join us here next segment.
Righty.
I think I both see blue skies behind them. They might be in the same spot.
I would be surprised if they weren't.
So we'll step aside. They are in the same spot. I'm seeing it. So we're going to step aside, take a quick break. When we return, Bill Hooks and Henry T. Buchanan join us from Oklahoma City.
Okay. Standing in line.
Okay. Yeah.
What's up? What's up, fellas?
You guys, did you carpool?
Hey, sir. No, I had to drive. No, I walked. You know, I think he walked. He probably got a limo here.
No, if I know T, he's probably got friends that live just like 3 blocks from the stadium. He knows everybody.
Boys, I gotta say it. This is hey, fellas, this is one of my guys, Terry from Lincoln. What's up, now?
Hey, Terry from Lincoln.
All right, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, well, was doing pretty good till we got out here to the social capital right now. I think it's the only spot out here, but that's fine. You know, they're about an hour wait, but hey, they're doing what they do.
Well, it looks like there's a lot of red there, fellas.
Yes, it is.
And we'll ask you about that too.
Yeah. All right.
It's gonna be 80 here. I imagine it's probably gonna be close to 85 down there where you guys are at today.
Yeah, I think. Oh man, it's we are everywhere.
But hey, T, my mom says it's 108 in Phoenix this week, so you're getting a little bit of a break.
Oh my goodness! Well, I knew it was supposed to get up to the hundreds, but I just didn't know when.
108 tomorrow.
Wow!
Happy.
Hey, that's what we do. I'm down here. I'm whining right now. I got my jacket in my hand. I'm about ready to put it on. I'm freezing.
I know. Anything under 70 degrees and you get chilly.
Well, the wind's blowing. And I walked over here, and these buildings had a lot of shade. So I was walking in that shade. I was freezing. Bill right across the field from it, so he had a far to walk.
Well, I know it's not messing up your hair.
Here's the deal. T is soft. It is not. The wind is not blowing. He's
yes, it is.
Nebraska wind. It ain't blowing.
No, you want to see Nebraska. You get T up here for Legends Weekend when it's 10 degrees outside. That's a sight to see.
Oh my.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there's so much red.
I ask you guys a lot about the pregame down there, the ambience, and I don't know the Husker presence and stuff like that. And T, I'll probably ask you a little bit. Obviously, is what this means to you being an alum and trying to get the monkey off your back too. So that'll be a question for you.
Absolutely.
About 30 seconds till we're back here. So
all right,
boys.
Quickly,
let's do it.
The vibe check. What vibes are high? It would appear looking around.
Boys, yeah, this is it's super high right now. If you could see it, like there's a whole like courtyard park area. It's just red everywhere. I mean, honestly, it's incredible.
All right, we are coming back here. Welcome back into the morning hookup. Nebraska and Troy tipping off here in about 2 hours, and checking in from Oklahoma City. It is Henry T. Buchanan, Husker legend, along with one Bill Hooks. Fellas, how we doing? It's a beautiful day today.
Hey, fellas, we're doing it, man. It's Husker Nation out here in full force. Last night we took over Bricktown, and now we're taking over Social Capital and about ready to take over Paycom Arena, baby. We're ready.
And Bill, it would appear, I know after your trip down to Memphis, you had some bar concerns. It would appear the bars are opening early in Oklahoma City this morning.
Well, you know what? Let's shout out the Husker Alumni Association for doing this, because it is the only place I believe open. Maybe a hotel bar, but this place is crawling. They got open about 8:30, and when we rolled in, there probably were north of 50 people standing in line. Go Big Red chants. I don't know if you can see it, but in the distance, Paycom is right over there. So not too far. It is just crawling with people. And I got to tell you, it's interesting as you watch. We're at Social Capital is a craft beer place. They've got one individual dedicated to just pouring Ultra and Coors Light pitchers. That's all the gentleman is doing.
Hey, Bill, I want to ask you this. Obviously, we know that Husker fans travel. Can you give us a sense of maybe is it 50% red? I mean, I know there's 4 teams down there, and I don't know exactly when the other teams play and stuff like that. But I mean, have you guys has our fan base basically dwarfed anything that any other team is going to have down there?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Just from being in Bricktown last night, around hanging out with T, it's red everywhere. Our hotel is red. I think everything here, and it's red. It is just red. And just like the vibe. You're talking about vibes. I was in Memphis a couple years ago. It's a different Husker crowd vibe. There's the expectation has risen. You kind of feel like in Memphis, like you're happy to be there, playing an opponent that was a tougher opponent. But now it's like it's different. There's an expectation. There's uh, like as the team is probably locked in, I feel like this crowd's a little more locked in with what they're about to see at 11:40 today.
Now, T, I want to ask you. I want to ask you something real quick. Then, I mean, the locked in part. I mean, maybe some anxiety comes with that. A lot has been said, probably more so about from the media, I think, than anyone else about being 0-8 in NCAA history as far as games. Now, for these guys to come out and to potentially get that first win in the Husker program ever, as an alum, as a guy who not only played here, but I know that you are still very attached to this program. You come back a lot, you watch practices and stuff like that. What does the chance to get that monkey off the back mean for you?
It's a big deal. I had the opportunity to eat dinner with Kip Bavelka and Jeff Smith last night, along with Pat Norris, and we were just talking about it. Carl Hayes just showed up to town this morning, and he was on that 3 seed team, the 26 win team, and he said he wanted to be here to watch them break their win record. Not only the win record, but be the first team to win an NCAA tournament. And he just drove in from Chicago overnight. That's how special this game is. And Kent Bavelka, you could see it on his eyes, and Jeff Smith. We all wanted it bad. We wanted it probably as bad as the players and the coaching staff and the fans. It's just one of these opportunities that haven't came our way over the years, and this is the team to do it. And I know it's not going to be an easy task, but we are ready. The fan base is ready. Everywhere I go, it's big red. I mean, everywhere. I got on the elevator, and it was some Husker fans on the elevator, and they just said, "Hey, we're just making sure you wasn't anybody else." They're not even allowing other teams' fans on the elevator with them right now. That's how deep we are. And this is a special time right now. And I'm more excited this year than I was a couple of years back when we played in Memphis. This just seems a little bit different vibe. And I think we're a little bit more confident as well with the team that we have and how we match up with Troy. Now, Carl Hayes' son is assistant coach in that conference, I think, for Coastal Carolina, and was kind of giving us a kind of scouting report that, this team likes to shoot threes. And they got a big guy that'll be playing for them that's going to clog up the middle a little bit, but he's like 6'9", but we're in a good place. And, I tell you what, man, it might bring tears in my eyes, man, if we get this win. And that's how special this is. And to be honest, fellas, I'm an emotional wreck right now.
You got the hiccups going yet?
No, I got my water here. I'm prepared for them. I got my water in my hand. So let's go. Let's go Hiccups. Let's go everything. I'm ready for anything right now. And I'm just excited, man, for this game to get started and get in this stadium and just see the size of the Big Red and just see what we're going to do, baby.
Henry T. Buchanan, along with Bill Hooks, both joining us down from Oklahoma City before they make their way into the arena for the game. And guys, I want a thought from each of you. We'll start with Hooks, and then we'll get to T. What Husker do you have circled today as a guy that you think needs to have a big game, the type of guy that comes in and can spark this team to a win?
You know what? I thought a lot about this, thinking about it. I think for me, we're going to talk about turnovers and things like that, but I want to see Price. I think Price is the guy. That is going to be, for me, that first time he comes off a screen, how they going to officiate Price today. If he's able to run, he's a guy, again, we all know this, right? He can shoot it. He gets it in the hoop. If he gets it like against like an Illinois or a performance like that, the stress that's going to be taken off the rest of the group. Price gets off today, watch out for the Cuts, the Fragers of the world that are going to get to the hoop at will. Rank maybe getting down low, but I think Price It's probably a softball type question, right, or an answer to give you, but I think Price is the guy.
And I can't agree with Bill more, but I'll tell you this: I think we're going to need Lawrence and Mass to have one of their best games as well, because Price is going to be Price. Price, in my opinion, have not had a bad game this year, so we know what we get from Price. But sometimes, with Mass, I know it's been a long season for him. His first season back after the injury. He started off like game busters, but it's a long season. I mean, we don't play 32 games, so think about that, the wear and tear at this point. Now it's going to be just heart and desire, and then with Lawrence, and then we got Frager. So I'm talking those three guys is going to have to do their thing.
Hey, guys, all right, I need you to finish this sentence for me. Tomorrow on the morning hookup, we are talking about a Nebraska win if Nebraska is able to blank. And you can't just say score more points, obviously, but what do we do to win this game?
Execute.
I think, you know what, for me, I'm going to throw it out there again. Everybody's going to want to talk about rebounding. I think one thing for me is how well does Nebraska close out on the three? How tough do they make it on those guys? Because they like to shoot the three. We need to make hands and faces type plays. But if they can close out on the three really well today, I think it's going to be a Nebraska victory for sure.
We got Henry T. Buchanan and Bill Hooks joining us from Oklahoma City. Hooksy knows everybody. He's waving. He's a popular guy down there.
We'll take advantage of that here in a minute.
Yeah. Will we now?
Yes.
Okay. Fellas, another thought for you on this game this afternoon, I guess this morning here into the afternoon, is the pressure of being a team that hasn't won one in the tournament. Do you think that is something that this team is going to be experiencing this morning, and how do you think they overcome that pressure? Because on the bright side, they haven't run from it. They've talked about it this year. They've talked about it this week. They understand that they are the only power conference team that hasn't won an NCAA tournament game. If that pressure does hit them, how do you think it manifests itself, and how do you overcome that? We'll start with T.
Well, I'll tell you what, this team is very mature. They've seen it all, and I don't think the pressure is going to be on this team as much as we think it is. I think they know what their task is in front of them, and I think these kids are ready. Because you know what you're going to get from Sam, and you know what you're going to get from Price. So, and Mass being that leader. I look at what they did in practice and how they talk and how they play together, and I watch the coaches and how they. And how they coach these guys. These guys are confident and they don't feel the pressure. I'll be honest with you. They don't feel the pressure. I'm feeling more pressure than they are. And I see it in their eyes. These guys are ready, man. I'm just telling you, these guys are ready. And it's going to be interesting. And I think, and keep in mind, I'd like to see a fast start, but I don't think that's going to be the key. I just think it's going to be the key because we have a coach that make the best adjustments in the nation. So whatever happens in the first half, he's going to make adjustments. So if we're killing in the first half, it's going to get worse the second half. And if it's a tight game in the first half, we'll take care of business in the second half. That's just how good this coaching staff is and how these players execute. So I think we're just in a good place right now. And I think these players are ready, and they're ready to give us our first, take that curse away, and I think they're ready.
Hooks, anything you want to add to that?
No, I agree. T, you nailed it. I think that veteran leadership, and it's I heard, think back. I heard you guys talking a little bit earlier as I was back in the green room about seating and this and that, but I think we all have to remember that this is. You hear that? Sorry, guys. It's the Go Big Reds have started. But I think it's the.
You don't have to apologize for that, Hooksy.
I mean, this is a new season, right? This new season, whatever you did, those 30-something games, it don't matter no more, right? And I think another factor this is, we talked about the Red. This is going to be a PBA-like environment today at Paycom. That is going to be a big factor in this game, I believe, as the Red is going to pour into that place. And at times when there's adversity, it's going to hit because it's going to hit in this game. We're going to have a spell in there, but that crowd is going to help will this team to victory.
Hey, Bill, how close are you to those fans behind you then? Fairly close?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, those Big Red chants have started. I don't know if people can tell or not that you're on air, but
No.
and you let them. They don't know that you're on air.
No, they don't.
No,
But see,
no, they
here's
have
what's
no
happening.
idea.
Here's what's
Oh,
happening. If you can see right on my left shoulder, I guess there, local TV has showed up now, and they're doing Husker fan interviews. The young lady threw the microphone out, and it just got going.
I was going to see if we could get Bill to give everyone a Go Big Red back here in Lincoln.
Maybe. Look, I don't know. You know what? There's a lot of them have beers in their hands right now. Hey, T, you ever done one? Go on, T,
T.
go. Hey, T, go
Hey,
it.
Bill,
Oh
you should
no, no, no.
introduce that crowd
It
as
might
Husker
cause the
Legend T,
hiccups. It might cause hiccups.
but it would be worth it.
Oh my goodness.
I'd buy your
Hey,
next
hey,
bottle.
hold on. I got some guys right here.
Watch. Here we go. Get him.
Hey,
Get him.
this is a
give
live
everyone-
radio show out of Lincoln. We need a Go Big Red to get these folks started. They want to hear it back home. Go Big Red! That was cool. Oh man,
That was all right.
that's all right. That's all right.
All right, you probably have to get those guys another round, get them fired up. So,
You are on video. Oh yeah, they've seen it.
all right, video
That's
and
awesome.
radio. So,
Last stop before we get you out here, fellas. Really appreciate you taking some time out of your pregame experience to join us here. We get a score prediction from each of you. If you're willing to give one, I'll start with T.
Score prediction. You got it.
Score prediction. I'll go with. I'm going to say 85-69.
Nice.
Woo-wee. That means we're lighting the tote board, and I love it. I'm kind of there. I was in the I'm 78-62 Nebraska today.
oh, very close to mine.
I think we're gonna put the ball in the bucket today, and we're gonna defend, because I think when that team comes out, when Troy comes out and see that sea of red, and the chance, and it's gonna be like a home game for us. It's going to be intimidating. And Troy has not played in front of a crowd like this. They haven't played in an arena this size, so it's all going to be new to them. So it's just where Nebraska, these guys been everywhere. They don't played in the Crown Tournament. They don't played in pressure compact situations. They played in the Big Ten tournaments, and we got upperclassmen who's done competed, who played in the NCAA tournament 2 years ago. So I think we're in a good spot, fellas. And I just think Troy they have no idea what they're about ready to get involved in, and it's going to be a powerhouse Nebraska team with the fan support, and they will not be denied.
T, I said last stop, I got one more quick one for you. As a former Husker yourself, what would a win, getting that monkey off of the back, mean for you today? What would those emotions be like?
It would mean the world to me. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have some tears flowing after this game today. And it's just something that I've been waiting on since 1986. So we're talking 40 years here, fellas, that I've been waiting to see us win an NCAA game. And, even though my team fell short, and I still blame myself for missing that 3-point shot in the Big 8 tournament, but we did get an opportunity to play 3 more games at home and then make it to New York, play in Madison Square Gardens. But I just think right now it's the emotional time. And I think when that time is clicking and we're getting our first win, I just think it's going to be huge. And I'll be like, you remember Coach Van Vallo when he was looking for somebody to hug?
That's
I'm going to be chasing, running around looking for somebody to hug after this game. And here come a bus of Husker fans just pulling up.
The band's here.
It's the band. Oh my goodness, the band just pulled up.
To roll out. Hey, we might get a little performance on the way out.
Well, T, make sure you know where Hooks is at, because he's pretty huggable. So I'm sure he'll give you one after our win today.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be looking for somebody to hug. Trust me. I'm fired up, fellas.
I heard Hooksy's courtside.
Oh boy, there might be a little TV time, so I better behave myself. Here's the other part of that. Yeah, I'm a little close today, but on the flip side, I'm going to be on the Troy bench side.
Oh, Hooksy's going to be heckling all game long.
All right.
Shall I behave or not?
Nah.
We'll find out tomorrow morning. Fellas, really appreciate you taking some time out. Get back to your pregame and get down there, cheer loud. Appreciate you, fellas, both of you.
Hey, appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
man.
appreciate y'all, man. Y'all take care, man. And let the fans know that we're here. The Big Red Machine is here.
Absolutely.
There's Husker Legend,
Thanks, guys.
along with Bill Hooks with us here on the Morning Hookup, taking some time out of their pregame session ahead of Nebraska and Troy down at Paycom in Oklahoma City. That was fun.
Yeah, and you had mentioned that it was good for the team that they don't have to sit around the hotel all day and watch other games and stuff like that. 11:40 tip, and boy, those Husker fans, 9:30, 9:30 down there showing up. There's anticipation for this. There really is.
This is not anticipation for since Sunday this has been anticipation that is building for months.
Well, yeah, I hate to be that guy that says I told you so, but when T and I went down there to practice earlier this year and we're watching them and we wanted to temper it because we didn't want to be that little boy that cries wolf all the time because of course we always get excited. But like this could be special.
Well, and I
like playing the role of the unknown.
And we're dating back, I think it was like in about October. When T joined the show, it was whenever Nebraska, the media poll came out for the Big Ten conference. And he said, I'm not making any guarantees, but this team is going to finish a lot better than 14th in the league as they were picked by the media.
Sure.
He nailed it. And that's what I think was important.
And we technically finished second because of the tiebreakers, right?
Yeah.
So we'll take that.
Technically. They finished second.
Elijah, let me ask you this. Obviously, basketball in itself, the season that they're having is enough to get, the Husker Nation excited and stuff because that's what Husker fans do. They love their sports. I want to make sure I phrase this right. The almost state of mediocrity that the football team has seemed to fallen into make it more urgent for Husker fans to find something winning to grasp onto, whether it be the softball with Jordy Ball or obviously the success of the volleyball team, and now the season of the men's basketball team. Is that made maybe it a little bit easier for some of these football diehards to stomach it, to have something else to fall back on?
Well, this season would not be this season if football went 10-2 in the fall. People would still be excited. It wouldn't be all of Husker Nation rallying behind this team because we know there are football diehards out there that could care less about every other sport.
Yes, I work with a few, and they're honest. They're like, "Well, I've started watching this year because it's not what
this season would be special no matter what happens with football because we haven't seen a season like this for Husker basketball going on 35 years. Where they have this kind of opportunity ahead of them to go win an NCAA tournament game, but I don't think this state would rally around this team the way it did. I mean, the state got basketball fever, and it's because they've been searching for something to cling on to, of something that they can go. And even those transplant Huskers that are living across the country, that they show up to work
or drive from Chicago
or whatever it may be. That was a terrifying trip home for me, by the way, on the way home from Chicago. But that's an aside. I've already talked about that plenty. They can show up to work and they can brag about the Husker basketball team. They can talk about the Huskers. It gives them something to do in the wintertime. Gives them something to text their old buddies about. It was going to be special no matter what, but just because of the struggles of the football team, it has made this season extra sweet, and it would make an NCAA tournament win today feel that much sweeter.
I agree. So
we'll step aside here. We'll take one more break
okay.
here this hour. We're going to keep talking Husker basketball a little bit later next hour. I think we'll look at the greater slate of NCAA tournament games today, but we'll keep on talking. It's a lot more Huskers as we get you all set. Nebraska and Troy coming your way. Tip off under 2 hours from now as Nebraska looks to get, I'm saying, the monkey off the back, the gorilla off of the back, the King Kong off of their back of never having that first NCAA tournament game win. So we'll step aside when we return. More Husker basketball thoughts coming your way. Yeah.
JP's going to call in.
Well, I did see somebody was calling in earlier, but I wasn't going to put him on.
JP says he's going to call in.
Hooksy and T-Ron, someone was calling in, and I said they can wait.
What's that?
Somebody was calling in while Hooksy and T-Ron. I'm like, they can wait. This segment's for them. But if JP calls in, I have a good little mini theme here that I'd like to get JP's take on. Think back. Who are those former Huskers that were special to you back in the day that never got to see this day? That's kind of what's on my mind today, is all the years and years and years. I asked T that question. Here we go. The JP?
Yep.
Awesome.
JP, we're in a commercial break right now. We are still live on the stream, but we're going to be coming out of this break here in about 70 seconds, roughly.
Cool.
Is it filling in down there yet?
Yeah, we're starting in the quarter bar and filling up the quarter bar first, and then we're going to open up tanks after that, and then the rail yard's going to have the game on too.
Are we getting some of the diehards showing up yet?
Oh, dude, there's like 20 people already here before I even got down here at 9.
Love it. So, I mean, you see it firsthand. The fan base has been itching for this moment, so it could be a very, very special day. So,
oh yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun.
And you guys will officially kick that off at 10 a.m. or what?
Oh no, we started at 9. We're already like doing giveaways every 30 minutes all the way up until noon.
Awesome. Okay, we'll ask about that.
I also want to ask about some of those former Huskers that you think back on that you loved, weren't able to see this day. We're able to see that first potential NCAA tournament win. I think that's a fun thought of thinking back through all the years of fandom.
Oh, 100%. I mean, so many, and like being like a kid like Matt, being up in the rafters at Devaney, like holy shit.
James, you can get away. Call me that. You've known me forever, so it's okay.
We're coming back here, so I'm shutting mics off. Coming back, okay?
Okay.
And welcome back into the morning hookup. I'm Hugh Malone. We got Elijah Herbal. And we are going to be joined by a really special guest. He is the host of the morning show on our sister station, 96 Kicks, and he is setting up down in the rail yard right now. We've got JP on the line. JP, you tell us a little bit about what's going on down there today.
You bet, guys. Good morning. Happy Husker Game Day Thursday, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is great. We decided we wanted to do something crazy. And, like, this is a historic moment, watching the Huskers once again in the NCAA tournament. And since we couldn't make the trek down to Oklahoma City, like half the state, like, basically transferred down to Oklahoma City. The rest of us who can't do that, we wanted to have a party. And so we're having a party in the rail yard at Tanks Country and the Corner Bar. We're starting in the Corner Bar, and every 30 minutes we're giving away tickets to a bunch of country concerts. And we're just going to have a great time and watch the game at 11:40 and just celebrate the Huskers. It's going to be the best way to celebrate. And we thought, you know what, if we're going to do it, we got to do it either Thursday and Friday or not at all. So we're going to be down here until noon officially. I mean, we're going to be down here till the games are over probably. And then at 9 to noon tomorrow as well. And just all day hoops down at Tanks Country in the Corner Bar. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. I know you got a lot to do. Hey, just a real couple quick questions for you. JP, I know that you have as close a seat as anybody in that building to watch this season transpire. What has this meant, and what have you got to see? I mean, what is so special about this season from what you've got to see?
Well, just the fact that I remember, because I started right a year before Fred took over the program, and I was there when we had 5 wins, and it was tough. It was tough, but I knew that he was doing everything he could to turn this program around and make it great. And then to see guys like Bryson Trey come in, to see guys like Josiah Alec come and Casey Somanaga come and help continue to build this program to where it is now. And then a couple of years ago came really close to breaking in and getting that NCAA win. And now it's like, it just means that much more with Fred and Sam and Price and Rink and just this crew, how hard they play together. It's defensive minded, but they can hit the 3, but they don't have to rely on the 3. They can do just about anything in this offense and defense. And it's just so much fun. It's been so electric every game at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and then to sell out pretty much the entire season every time just made it even better.
JP, we're kind of talking this about a little bit during the break, but on a day like today, when you think back on all your years of fandom that have kind of led up to this potential win, I think back on all those names that, I mean, were so important to me as a young Husker basketball fan. The Brandon Ubell, Lance Jeter. I think of Ade Daganduro, like all these guys I used to watch.
You're young, Elijah.
I know, but then into the high school years, you thought Petaway was going to be the one that was going to get it done. He was electric. Are there names that each of you guys think back on that were the favorites that you were really hoping were the guys that were going to be able to finally be the ones that could get the monkey off the back?
Well, for me, it was like my buddy Zucker, his family had tickets in the rafters at Devaney, and getting to go and watch Ty Lue and Eric Piakowski compete. Even before that, I had a Rich King rookie card from when he was drafted by the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah.
Like, thinking about Rich and Bo Reed and these guys that have worked so hard to try to make something happen great in Nebraska with this team. And now to be able to see the smiles on like Henry T. Buchanan's face and these other guys' faces, watching their team finally succeed and build and continue to get better and now have this ultimate shot.
All right, we are talking to 96 Kicks morning host JP. JP, tell them again where they can find you, what you guys are doing. Maybe throwing some stuff out to the crowd. I don't mean to take words out of your mouth.
Oh, you're good. No, Budweiser was kind enough to give us a whole bunch of Husker stuff to give away, including some really retro Nebraska basketball T-shirts that are really awesome. We got Husker koozies to give away, and again, tickets every 30 minutes. The concerts like seeing Hardy coming up this Saturday, Bulls, Bends, and Barrels at PBA. Brantley Gilbert's going to be at Pinewood. We've got all kinds of tickets, all kinds of concerts, and we'll be doing that all the way up until noon. And then again, the game is down at 11:40. We'll have that on the big screens here in the corner bar at the Rail Yard and Tanks Country at the Rail Yard, and then also on the big screen out here because the weather's going to be fantastic. Sunny and 83. Could we please have a day outside watching basketball?
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
JP, with that in mind, first off, you're down at every single home game. So what would a win mean to you today, and how would you celebrate if it is a win for the Huskers?
Dude, I'm gonna be falling like a baby probably when it happens.
Oh, I believe it. Now, JP, I've known you since we were like kids, and while I may come across more as a baseball guy. In fact, I'm going down to Kansas City play old man softball still. Yeah, today I haven't given that up yet. I basketball was always my first love. I just wasn't as good at basketball as I was baseball.
Right.
And I run into you at some games, and I think you could tell the look on my face that I've been through 30, 35 years of this. And so it's really important. I want your really quick take today. On the morning hookup tomorrow morning, we're talking about a Husker win if the Huskers can do blank.
If the Huskers play great defense and continue to score and get that rhythm going from the three-point line, we are going to win by 9.
Win by 9. All right. You heard it right there from JP. Make sure if you don't have plans, or if you do have plans, change them. Get down to the Rail Yard. Join JP 96 Kicks. They got a great thing going on. And JP, thank you very much for taking time out of setting up and your little shindig this morning. And maybe I'll sneak down there and talk to you in person.
You got it. Your first round's on me, boys. See you, Elijah. Thank you very much, and go Big Red.
All right. Thanks, JP.
There goes JP 96.9 Kicks. The Rail Yard Party is where you go today to watch the Huskers finally get that first NCAA tournament win potentially. We got about 50 seconds.
And you get to do it amongst friends. Amongst friends.
We're all friends. We're all family today. Let's be honest.
Elijah, I'll tell you
everyone
this.
out there who's rooting for Nebraska, it's one of the things I love about sports, how it brings people together.
Oh,
no matter where you come from, what your political party is,
you
white,
want the
black,
old card?
brown, green, whatever you are, Husker basketball and sports,
Husker
basketball
anything.
Today, it brings people together. That's what I love about sports. That's
When
why
we
I
won
love this industry.
When we won the title in 95, they shut down about 8 square blocks of downtown, and you had about 50,000 people just walking around high-fiving total strangers. That's what Husker sports do. I mean, I know that other places have parades and stuff, but they shut downtown off. It was down. Not saying they're going to do that just for an NCAA win, but in our minds, to get that relief off our back. And we'll talk a little bit more about this 0-8 thing in hour number 2 when we come back. So that and a whole bunch more.
I also think we need to take, I know Nebraska-Troy is the main event, but I think we need to take a comprehensive look at the games that are going down today. There are plenty of great NCAA tournament games. this is wall to wall for me. Of like, if I'm not on the radio, I'm watching college basketball.
We're gonna break your bracket before it even starts.
So,
A little bit on hour number 2.
So that'll do it for us in hour 1. Plenty more coming your way in hour 2 as we get you all geared up. Nebraska and Troy. Can Nebraska get that first NCAA tournament win? More coming your way after the break.
Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Turn your tax refund into your next home upgrade at Menards. Mastercraft makes great doors inside and out, building the highest quality doors in a wide variety of styles. Add beauty and security to your home with an exterior door from Mastercraft. Shop our huge in-stock selection or design your door your way in store or online. Save big on Mastercraft doors. Plus, view our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Ernie Hudson, actor, cancer survivor, and father of 4. As a dad, there's nothing I wouldn't do to protect my kids from cancer. The human papillomavirus, or HPV, can cause 6 types of cancer, but the HPV vaccine can stop cancer before it starts. Girls and boys should get the vaccine at 11 or 12, and there's a catch-up option for teens and young adults. For more information, go to preventcancer.org.
Well, we got another lawn looker. Raise lawn and home care, aerate, do lawn treatments, and make the place look beautiful, like a lush carpet. It catches the eye of a neighbor or really anyone passing by, and they just can't look away. They go into this state where they're dreaming about what Raise can do for their lawn. It's so beautiful. Only one way to get them back.
New spring customers get 20% off Raise 5-step program. Raise Lawn and Home Care. 60 years of making lawns beautiful.
My teenage son only has one brain, and it'll keep developing through his mid-20s. But if he uses e-cigarettes, the nicotine in them can impact attention, learning, and memory, and can prime the brain for addiction. So I've talked to him about staying away from e-cigarettes, because my son only has one brain.
Learn more at cdc.gov/e-cigarettes today. A message from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and this station.
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3. Lincoln.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth telling reporters that the U.S.-Israeli mission in Iran is not a forever war. In fact, he says nothing could be further from the truth. From Washington, here's ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
With attacks on Middle Eastern oil facilities by Iran and by Israel driving up the price of oil, and few, if any, allies willing to help secure the Strait of Hormuz, the defense secretary insists the American mission in Iran is very much on plan.
You hear a lot of noise about widening or new missions or speculation about what we should or should not be doing. This is a clear set of objectives.
As for reports the Pentagon may seek $200 billion to pay for the war, Pete Hegseth said that figure could move. But
it takes money to kill bad guys.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Activist groups say more than 3,000 people have been killed in Iran and more than 1,000 in Lebanon so far. Iran striking energy facilities in Qatar, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia following the Israeli bombing of its largest gas field. Oil topping $119 a barrel this morning before heading back down. It's still over $100 a barrel, however, and that has led to a lot higher gas prices.
We see those attacks show up almost immediately in the prices people pay here at the pump. Overnight, prices rising another 5 cents. The nationwide average now $3.90 a gallon. Since this war began, prices have jumped 96 cents, and they are now at their highest levels since 2022. That's when they hit $5 a gallon.
ABC's Rebecca Jarvis, Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, back on Capitol Hill, facing more questions about the war and the worldwide threats facing the U.S. right now. In the Senate Homeland Security Committee.
On this vote, the yeas are 8, the nays are 7, and the motion to report the nominee is agreed to.
It was narrow, but they have agreed to send Mark Wayne Mullins' nomination to the full Senate for confirmation as DHS Secretary. You're listening to ABC News.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients, thistle, turmeric, extract, it's simple and long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meyer Grocery, Wegmans. And now Active Liver is available at your local GM.
Progress in fighting a major wildfire in western Nebraska. Good morning, I'm Jeff Motes. We're at 55 degrees at KFOR. About 11 members of Lincoln Fire and Rescue out helping fight the Morrill County wildfire are being demobilized and will be heading home soon, as that fire has burned about 650,000 acres of land. LFR Public Information Officer MJ Lehrman says 11 members from LFR have been out there helping secure structures and reconning areas while looking for hot spots.
They'll be working in different places to reduce any flare-ups.
The Morrill fire is about 67% contained. No word yet on when the timeline will be when those crew members will arrive back home. While we're a week into the wildfires in western and central Nebraska, a week ago today, fire departments and deputies were working several wildfires that broke out across western and southern areas of Lancaster County.
I think I counted a total of 9 different fires throughout Lancaster County late afternoon and into the early evening.
Lancaster County Emergency Management Director Jim David-Saver tells KFOR News, thankfully, no outside resources were needed to help fight those fires. He credited the dedication and cooperation between the 19 fire departments that served the county and the sheriff's deputies in protecting the public. No reports of any damage or injuries. State lawmakers advanced a revenue package Wednesday that's expected to bring the Nebraska legislature more than $21 million closer to filling up the projected budget deficit that they've been working to close all session. Senators advance LB 901 with a voice vote, pushing the bill to the third and final round of a floor debate. The primary revenue generators in LB 901 include an increase to Nebraska's tax on profits from skill game machines from 5% to about 10%. The other component would roll back sales and use tax exemptions on game birds, biochips, and other recently passed tax exemption measures used last in, first out philosophy lawmakers cited last year while working to fill a separate deficit. Sunny today and a high around 80. I'm Jeff Motes, KFOR News.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Bakery owners, you will be loved today. Every pastry will be flaky. Your cake will make a child's day. Your delivery van won't get sideswiped by a distracted garbage truck driver. But if so, breathe easy, knowing you'll get back to business quickly with Progressive protecting your commercial auto. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe someone else.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Welcome back into hour 2 of the Morning Hookup. Elijah Herbal and Funeral gearing it up. Nebraska and Troy kicking off the countdown is on about 90 minutes from now.
I would consider myself geared.
It's got a connotation. You're geared?
Geared up?
Yeah. That's also a euphemism for using steroids nowadays.
Oh, that'd be not me.
Among the kids.
Oh, is it?
Well, maybe not among the kids.
6'7".
Yeah, similar.
Geared 6'7".
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
no, I'm ready. I am ready. I don't think you can poke the bear anymore. How's that?
This is one of the mornings where you didn't need the alarm to wake you up, I don't think.
I'm not gonna tell you how many minutes before my alarm I got up.
It was, even last night, it was just like, it's finally here. As we talked about, this is always, first and foremost, even if Nebraska is not in the NCAA tournament, this is always one of my favorite weekends of the year. Like, even if I never got to see the Sweet 16, the Elite Eight, and the Final Four, the first 2 rounds of the NCAA basketball tournament, where it is wall-to-wall basketball Thursday through Sunday, it's special.
And there's a lot of people that will put in, PLD days, vacation days for these 2 days.
Well, and think about it, as I look at the entire sports calendar across the entire year, this weekend might be my number one weekend. There's some great events that are tough to miss. Like, hey, man, I love watching the January 1st bowl games. I love divisional weekend in the NFL. I love the Masters, but there's nothing that holds my attention for 4 whole days like the NCAA basketball tournament does.
Right.
That's what makes this so special. Is I can sit down and I know I'm working in the sports media field. I don't necessarily have the luxury to do this, but I could sit down on my couch and not move for 12 hours today, from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. watching college basketball, do it all again tomorrow, do it similarly on Saturday and Sunday, and be happy as a clam. And there are very, very, very few other things that allow me to just say, you know what, I can sit down and watch college football for 12 hours on Saturday. Could I do that for 4 consecutive days? I don't know.
That'd be tough.
That'd be really tough. Like I can sit down and I've done it. I've watched NFL pretty much every single Sunday. I'm going to be sitting on my couch watching the noon games, 3 o'clock games, the evening games. If there's a Europe game on in London,
Remind me again, you're not married, are you?
No. That's great.
Yeah. Was that as much as I would love to? Maybe I could just say, hey, I'm going over to Elijah's. I think I get in trouble if I watch that much. But you're right. I mean, these first 2 days.
But these first 2 days and really the first weekend, it's one of those, you got to sit back and drink it in. Because there's nothing else in sports like this to me. They call it madness for a reason, but the unpredictable nature, the fact that, most of the country, because of the bracket challenges that people are in, sit back and tune in. The fact that I can watch some team that I have never heard of before, named Fairleigh Dickinson, go and upset the number 1 team in the country in Purdue. Like, there's nothing like this.
Right.
That's what makes it special. And this is an aside. That's why I don't understand this push to expand the NCAA tournament and get more play-in games and whatnot. This system has been a beautiful system for decades, and it's worked for decades. And because it is this 64, and 68 even changed a little bit. I know that the play-in games were interesting this week, and people still didn't even tune in. This is where it starts. Today is where it starts, and this system, with the way it has been set up and the way it has just entered the public consciousness, it's special. I hope they don't change it and screw it all up, because there's nothing else on the sports calendar like this throughout the course of an entire year.
No, you'll see a bunch of grown men. All of a sudden, there's that 12 seed that is just hanging around and winning against the 5 seed. And yeah, is that going to totally ruin your bracket? No, but is it a game you pick? No, but it's still, you're witnessing it in the 8 grown men around you. Some might have picked it, and all of a sudden you're all cheering for that 12 seed, whether you had them filled out on the next line or not, because that's what makes the sport great. That's why they call it madness. Now, that you add in the fact that everyone likes that Cinderella team, right? And that for me, that's fun on Thursday, that first Thursday and Friday and stuff like that. Now, the following weekend, when it gets down to 16 teams, I would hope that you're going to start to see some good basketball, and the teams that are really head and shoulders above the rest of the field start to play like that. And you're starting to see, the 2s versus the 3s, the 1s versus the 4s, matchups like that, where you get to see some really intriguing matchups as well.
Yeah. And with that in mind, the games that I have circled today that I am most intrigued in, we'll start off, obviously, Troy and Nebraska at 11:40. I'll also casually be following TCU and Ohio State's a really interesting game, stylistically. I picked Ohio State in my bracket because they got the better guard play.
Right.
Thornton. They got Thornton. I think he's going to make plays down the stretch.
And they got hot at the end of the season because they knew their season was on the line. They're playing good ball right now.
But I will say, I think among the early slate, I think Nebraska and Troy is going to be a story because it's going to people are, Nebraska had a chance at that first NCAA tournament win. They're the only power conference team that's never done it before. I think they have intentionally the NCAA tournament put Nebraska where they did. They always seem to open up with an 8 and 9 because they love having that
even matchups.
Yeah, and you can eliminate half the brackets in the country in the first game.
Right.
And I think they like doing that. But with Troy and at least being perfect, you can eliminate half the brackets. Troy and Nebraska, you set that up second because you had the storyline there. Then you followed up with Louisville and South Florida right after that, where Louisville is down their star freshman guard, and South Florida is already a popular upset pick, and now they're an even more popular upset pick. 12:30 game, that's interesting.
Well, Elijah, let me ask you this:
High Point has been a popular upset pick over Wisconsin as well. Like they have started this NCAA tournament off with 4 banger games.
And I've noticed too that you have those people that know Nebraska is 0-8, and then you have those people that don't know and are picking Troy because they think that they have to pick 113 over 4 to make their bracket complete, and they're not used to seeing Nebraska in there, and Nebraska fans are obnoxious and they're always on social media. Let's go ahead and pick Troy. I don't like that. I don't like that thought process at all.
And I think the people that are out there that have picked Troy are very outspoken. ESPN does what they call the people's bracket, where they'll go and show what percentage of people picked who. 86% of people are still riding with Nebraska.
Well, good.
Only 14% of people picked Troy as an upset in their bracket. That means more people picked 5 Point over Wisconsin. More people picked Texas over BYU. More people picked Akron over Texas Tech. More people picked Hofstra
Akron over Texas Tech?
Yes. 23% of people picked Akron over Texas Tech. You're about even with Hofstra and Alabama.
What's Texas and BYU? Is that a 6-11?
That's a 5-12. All right.
Oh, is it? I didn't know Texas was 12.
Texas Tech.
But didn't you say Texas and BYU?
That's 6-11.
Yeah, 6-11. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I took BYU just because I got to watch them play, but they've been so up and down.
But some of the other games I've circled today, I think a great one when people are getting off of work, getting back home, North Carolina and ECU. ECU's popular upset pick. I think ECU.
Does Bill know that?
Yeah. Caleb Wilson's
okay.
We talked about that earlier in the week. I think that's a really, really interesting game. Again, that's 5:50 to tip off. When you get to the evening slate, BYU and Texas is tonight. That's a 6:25 tip. Another one that I really didn't know where to go is St. Mary's and Texas A&M, 6:35. Georgia and St. Louis is tonight, and that one is a complete toss-up game. And then the evening slate looks less appealing, but sometimes one of those games surprises you.
Right.
Because it's you got a couple. It's 14-seeded Penn against Illinois, 8:25. 14-seeded Kennesaw State against Gonzaga, 9 o'clock, and at 9:10 tonight, the nightcap, Idaho and Houston. I would almost.
Please don't tell me that you have people picking Idaho.
No, that was like 97% of people.
So 3% of the brackets are being filled out in the state of Idaho.
But let me just quickly say, if you look at those 3 games, one of those games will be very interesting to me. That's how madness goes. I will almost guarantee to you that Penn and Illinois, Kennesaw State, Gonzaga, Idaho, Houston, all of those I think are 20-plus point spreads. One of those games will be very, very interesting. I can almost guarantee you that.
Now, you said you watched a lot of this at home. Which type of viewer are you? Obviously, they have this on 4 different stations, but on any of the given games, they'll have the scores from the other stations up top. Are you just satisfied with that, or do you have all 4 of those stations locked in and you're flipping back and forth like my father used to do, and would drive me crazy? And it wasn't basketball related. We're talking television shows you flip back and forth.
I have the main game that I am most interested in. That's usually the most competitive on the big screen. I got another one that intrigues me on the phone screen. So I got the phone in my lap. I got the TV on in my living room, and I'm watching the 2 games I'm most interested in. And then I'm following along with any other scores that are on at that time and seeing, okay, that one might be worth looking over to. We'll kind of decide once my roommates get home tonight, and we kind of have the democracy. All right, it'd be all good if I switch this game over to the better game, yada, yada, yada. But I lock in one game on the big screen. I can't focus on the quad box.
So they They've come up with screen technology.
On YouTube TV, they have the quad box where you get 4 games up at once, and then you highlight which one you want to listen to at any given time.
No, I couldn't do that.
That's too much for me.
I would start foaming to the mouth and hitting my head off the coffee table. That's too much.
Whenever they have the live updating score with the time, I mean, it's perfect. Those scores are perfectly updated. They're perfectly synced. Whenever they have that at the top of the screen for every single game, which is
it's to the second.
To the second, it gives you a very easy way to go, oh, that game just got interesting. Let's flip
it just
over
got
there.
tied. All right, hey, let's flip over.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's simply put for me, but I'm going to be locked in on one. And if I had to circle the games, I think early on I'm going to be locked in. Obviously, Troy and Nebraska. I'll watch TCU and Ohio State up until tip-off. I'm going to be locked in on that one. McNeese State and Vandy at 2:15 is another game you got to watch.
Yeah, you've been talking like you're putting Vandy, they've kind of had a Nebraska type season where they've had some really good wins and been up and down.
I think McNeese can hang around with that game.
The same Vandy that, correct me if I'm wrong, but did some damage in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, I think that one's interesting. We'll see with Hawaii and Arkansas. I want to watch Darius Aker. I think Hawaii, that's a bad matchup for them with Arkansas. But I liked them heading into the tournament, and I saw that draw, and I went, but I'll maybe fall along with that one. But then VCU and North Carolina, that's going to be a main screen one for me. Texas A&M and St. Mary's will be a main screen one for me. And once Nebraska ends, I'm curious to see the end of that South Florida Louisville game because I think that one will be competitive.
I do too. And I always find a little interest in as you have all the pundits, fill out their brackets and stuff like that. Is that Rafael Davis? Is that his name from Big Ten Network?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had Nebraska beating Florida
Going
in the Elite Eight. I'm like, well, I hope you're right, man. That'd be pretty cool.
I don't have it in my bracket. I do think if Nebraska gets that far, the Nebraska and Florida matchup would be interesting.
I do too. As long as they don't bring in that 7'9" guy.
They probably
I don't think he's played much.
But whenever you look at Nebraska and their struggles rebounding, particularly defensively, that's something where you circle. I don't know.
Yeah,
we shall see. But
we'll worry about that when we get to there.
We'll worry about it when we get there because the main thing is the main thing. That's Troy.
Yes.
And you got to get past that. We can't overlook anybody because, as we know, with the NCAA tournament, you've watched it for a lot of years. I've watched it for a lot of years. There are times whenever you just got to throw out what you know because someone gets hot. And that's what's so fun about the NCAA tournament is you hope that guy is for Nebraska. You hope it's Price Sanford. Or you hope it's Jamarcus Lawrence or Link Math. That guy just gets hot and Troy stands no chance. But look around. There are sometimes when the lights are bright, someone just kind of they black out, if you will, and they just start cannon threes. Goalkeeper for Oakland a couple of years ago. Doug Etter. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's been so many those heroes of March Madness. Was it R.J. Hunter? Is that his name? That upset Michigan State. His dad fell off the chair. It was probably 10 years ago now. And it's just names that you never expect that go on a heater and go win a game for you. And if you're Nebraska, you just hope it doesn't happen to you today. But that's what makes March Madness fun.
Let me ask you this really quick. Obviously, we're allowed this luxury. And, there is no tomorrow if you don't win today. And we've talked about the onus of this 0-8 and how that's a big thing, probably made bigger by the media, I think, than anything. I mean, because if you look at this, Troy's never won an NCAA tournament game either. But of course, they're not in a Power 4 conference. How much, if any, game film on McNeese State or Vanderbilt have you even entertained if you're the coaching staff? Or do you even worry about that at maybe 2 p.m. today? Because then it's all you don't want to. It's where do you find the happy medium? And I know we're even in a peculiar spot because there's so much pressure on this first game of focusing on, and I don't want to be disrespectful, a lower seed game that you're supposed to win if you play your game. But you spend 1 week preparing against a 13 seed, or do you spend a little time maybe watching some game film on that 5-12? But you don't want to spend too much time because if you don't take care of this business, then that time you did spend on the 5-12 film is all for naught. Where do you find that happy medium?
I think somebody on that coaching staff, somebody has been doing scouting on Vandy and McNeese State. You hope their work isn't for naught.
Right.
That's not the main. The team, it's not their concern. Fred Hoiberg, not his concern. You're fully locked in on getting this first one out of the way. And that's what makes the NCAA tournament fun. I think that's what makes Nebraska really interesting. If they do win the first game, I think they're a really tough team to prepare for on short notice.
Well, I agree.
The different types of defenses that they run that so many teams in the country haven't seen before, with how many different shooters that they have around the court that you have to have a specific defensive coverage for. Like, if it's Vandy, if it's McNeese State, if Nebraska gets it done today, they have their work cut out for them over the following 36 hours trying to get prepped up and ready to go play Nebraska. But they're going to have people on their staff that have been watching Nebraska film. There's somebody on that Nebraska staff that's been watching McNeese State and Vandy film, but you don't worry about that until 3 o'clock this afternoon.
At least out loud. So,
yeah.
Elijah, I'm going to have some questions about this 0-8 NCAA tournament history thing when we come back. We're going to take a break.
Is it trivia time?
Not trivia, just some questions. I want your take on it.
Okay, we'll step aside here. Be back in 3 minutes. More hour 2 the morning hookup as we get you geared up for Nebraska and Troy, the NCAA tournament.
I don't know if you guys, I think you guys had brought maybe Mitch Sherman on someone because it was one of the evenings Schmidt posed a question if the 90-91 team could beat this year's team. And I responded,
"Oh,
I don't know if you guys saw it or not."
I remember your fight. I don't remember you said. Again.
Have a cool rejoin song. Just have an awesome one.
I can do that for you.
None of that hip hop hogwash. What? Isn't that what the guy wrote into the letter to the editor years ago? Memorial Stadium. He didn't want to hear any of that hip hop hogwash. You remember that?
No. So no hip hop hogwash. Oh, I think I got one. It's R&B. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, we're coming back. Welcome back into the morning hookup, rolling through hour 2 here, getting you all set for the tip-off NCAA tournament action. Nebraska and Troy. The main event is Nebraska looks to get that monkey off of their back, the first NCAA tournament win.
Let me ask you this, because I saw the first one and I only seen bits and clips of the second one. I'm going off of voice recognition. Is that Quad City DJ?
I have no idea. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like "Come on, Ride the Train," which of course, will always be etched into my head for some bizarre reason. Because that's what I do.
Yeah, I know you have some questions
Yes.
about history of Nebraska basketball. Before we get there, we did get a text in, Schmitty and I, from our friend Brian Snitley, listener of the Average Joe Sports Show, listener of the Morning Hookup here, that the lines have been so long in Oklahoma City, wherever they're at, because obviously people weren't ready for 9 a.m. Husker arriving crowds, that you buy rounds now as opposed to buying drinks. They're trying to shrink the lines, that they have shrunk down their sales to cases of alcohol that you buy for $180 a pop.
$180 for a case.
It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 high noons here for $180.
I'm trying to think at what point that's a good deal.
I think it's just the only option you have right now, because the lines were so long, they didn't have enough bartenders that people were waiting so long that they said, all right, if you guys want to buy drinks,
you're buying the whole case at a 180% markup.
I mean, yeah, that's
hey,
those cases of high noons go for like, I think if you go get them from a store, like $20-something.
Oh, but you can get it here for your low price of $180.
Yeah, I mean
that's business.
That's what 12. What's my math here? $12 a pop for each of those.
Yeah. So you as a business owner didn't do your homework on Nebraska fandom.
Yep.
And how well they travel, whether it's football, baseball, men's basketball, indoor skydiving, whatever it is. You didn't know that they were going to show up in droves, huh?
I do like the idea, though, of all the fans for the later games in Oklahoma City not being able to buy any alcohol.
Because they're going to be out.
Because Nebraska bought everybody out.
Well, be better prepared. But you know what? Hats off to them, because they're the Husker fans down there that are going to pay for it.
I expect a thank you letter to the University of Nebraska from the Oklahoma City Chamber of Commerce coming here in the coming weeks.
Right, for absolutely booming
their economy.
Right there for that weekend. Better be something. And you know, if you're by chance listening to this and you're in OKC, go find Hooksy. Maybe he'll buy you around. Hey, give me a case there, Hooksy. So
history of Nebraska basketball.
All right. 0-8 in NCAA tournament history, and that dates back to games that I can remember. Obviously, I was a senior in high school during the 1991 season. High expectations. I mean, that team that Danny Nee had was considered Noah's Ark. They had 2 of everything, and we've talked about it. Everyone's talked about it. You were a 3 seed, 14 seed. Xavier, I don't know. You didn't play well, didn't match up. You didn't lose. Do you think that the players know this? They know that they haven't won. They've talked about it, and I firmly believe that when that ball's tipped off, they aren't going to think about that for the next 2 hours. I sincerely think the players. I don't think. Do we make a bigger deal about the 0-8 because it's a talking point as the media? Then do you think a bunch of players who, yes, they're respectful of the alumni, but they had nothing to do with, most of them had nothing to do with those 8 losses. They don't put that onus on themselves. They want to win, I feel, for them, for us. And I mean, they want to win for the alumni too, but I think we unfairly put that 0-8 burden on them. Would you agree?
Yes and no. On one hand, I think there is a burden that is placed onto them. On the other hand, I think and we've had conversations with Sam Hoiberg on the Average Joe Sports Show, I think this team came to Nebraska embracing that burden. So I'm not sure it's necessarily unfair. They know they came to a place in Nebraska that does not have great basketball history. And they know, because if you didn't know when you showed up, you knew pretty quickly when you showed up.
Sure.
Well,
is there a difference between great history and, hey, you're now in the tournament where we've never won? It's on you guys. See you in a couple hours.
But to flip it around here, with great pressure, with great expectation comes great opportunity. Like, you have a chance. Look at the Husker fans that have made the way down to Oklahoma City to go and witness history. There are not many other teams playing in the first round of the NCAA tournament this weekend. They're going to have the kind of crowd support that Nebraska is going to have here in Oklahoma City.
And that crowd too. I mean, I'm going to probably leave one off here, but we saw it at Northwestern We obviously saw it in the 2 West Coast games.
You saw it in
Maybe
Pentagon?
Maryland or Rutgers, or maybe it was the Rutgers game too, that they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere. And they've supported you, and you've had some good showings on the road and rewarded them. And from what T and Bill said, that place might be pretty red today. I mean, yeah, it's not your rims, not your nets, but if you've ever watched
inflated basketballs, have you seen those?
Right. But we've all watched Hoosiers, right? That rim is 10 feet high and it's 15 feet to the free throw line. Same dimensions, and I'm sure, and they've had some shoot arounds in there too to get used to the backdrop and the optics. Moats and I have talked about some of those smaller schools having problems at PBA and bigger arenas. But it's when that ball is tipped off, it's you guys versus them. I honestly think Fred probably feels more pressure than the players do.
I agree 100%. Because with this team, this game is a lead up of 1 year of work for most of them. And you have the guys like Hoiberg and Jamarcus where it's a little bit different, and Rink working his way back from the injury. But the vast majority of this team, I mean, Rink didn't play with Price Sand for his whole career. Like this team itself, this is a 1 year journey. With Fred, this is a 7-year journey. He stepped into this Nebraska job knowing what it was. He has worked 6 years of ups and downs, and a lot of downs, but a few ups, to get this opportunity today to have a great advantage in the NCAA tournament to make that history. And I think it means more to him with his family history here around Lincoln. And he's talked about the family history with his grandpa, with his dad, with everybody around here. Like there is a lot on his shoulders with this, because this is what he came to Nebraska to do. To make history and to make his family proud, and make his family proud might be a little bit much, but you get what I'm getting at. Like, there is a lot of expectation placed on his shoulders whenever he showed up here, from fans, from family, and that some of that pressure he's put on himself, but he accepted the burden. And now he's got the opportunity after 6 years of trying, 6 years of building, 6 years of ups and downs. He had one previous opportunity against Texas A&M where it didn't go his way. There is pressure on him today. And I would agree with you. There's more pressure on him than there is on the players, because listen, the players have this. It's in the modern college basketball, everything refreshes after a year. They've been building to this since August. Really? I mean, I know they had the summer condition and whatnot, but once you actually get on the basketball court and get to practicing, like, that's where the build starts.
Right.
And there's going to be pressure on them because they hear the noise. They understand they're the only team that hasn't done it. But I don't think they necessarily get the full history of somebody like you or Schmitty or even me that's watched a whole bunch of Husker basketball, that understands just how down this program has been for a long time, with those few glimpses of hope and opportunity. Like, they don't necessarily get that.
Yeah.
Which I think is a benefit for them.
Oh, it is, because you don't want that pressure on them. I'm glad that I don't have to be Coach Hoiberg today because of that pressure, because in the event you don't win today, that number one, you're going to have that stigma of not only we didn't do it again in 0-9, but you had that season and where you were second in the Big Ten, you got a 4 seed, and we still didn't get that done. I wouldn't want that pressure. I mean, I wouldn't, because you know how, not necessarily you and I, but you know how others will be in the event that they didn't do it. I think that some people would put that asterisk by this season, and regardless of today, I don't want them taking anything away from what this group of men have accomplished this year. I mean, every team goes through injuries and stuff like that, but you had the flu or whatever it was go around with, and on top of sprained ankles on an already short rotation, and you were like a minute and a half and one blown charge call away from beating Michigan in their place. I don't want that. Now, on the flip side, Fred goes out and wins 2 games this weekend. They'll probably build a statue in front of PBA, because this uncharted waters, right? This was the guy that got us there. That all the ghosts of Nebraska basketball past can now be laid to rest, and Mo Iba looking down on this, and Danny Nee probably somewhere sitting on his TV, and all the guys that JP talked about, that yeah, these guys, they went out and they did it for them, but yet you did it for the program and all the players before you, and you did it for Thew Malone, the 10-year-old Thew Malone, who's been listening on the radio since he was 8, 9, 10 years old.
Well, think about a win today for Fred Hoiberg. That's got to solidify him as a college basketball great. I know I'm being a little bit dramatic here. He would step in and immediately become, in terms of accomplishments, the greatest in Nebraska history in terms of coaching. The build he had at Iowa State, and he goes and does it at freaking Nebraska of all places. If he gets the win today,
right?
Like, that is something that no one else has been able to do.
And to think that Trev wanted to sit down and restructure his contract. Yeah, I felt bad for the guy when I heard that too. It's like, you give him time, give him some resources. He wants to get this done, but he's so willing to get it done that he'll do it.
Yeah, and give Trev credit though for not pulling the plug. There is a lot of athletic directors out there that would have just pulled the plug. They wouldn't have sat
you
down
can
for
you
that
can
restructure.
do that, and it's just a vicious cycle.
But
it's so hard. Everyone wants a Rick Signetti in every sport now.
Yeah. If you have belief though that your coach is a great coach, you give him time. And that's what Trev Alberts gave to Fred Hoiberg. He gave him time and space to get things figured out, and Fred needed it. Let's be clear. First off, Fred built from nothing. There was nothing in the cupboards whenever he showed up. Those Tim Miles teams that were great. I mean, there was nothing left behind. You thought maybe Siobhan Shields comes back from the there. Now he goes off to that. There was nothing left in the cupboards for him. He built this thing, not even from the foundation, from nothing. It took him a couple years to build the foundation and build things up, but you knew he was based on his accomplishments. You knew he was a great college basketball coach. And even when things weren't going his way, the Nebraska athletic department, the fan base, for the most part, gave him the space to get it figured out how you build at Nebraska. We had a great conversation on the Average Joe Sports Show with Gary Barnett a couple weeks ago, where he talked about the fact you can't just bring a recipe from one school to another recipe, because you made some great oatmeal raisin cookies at Iowa State. Show up to Nebraska, there's no raisins, there's no cinnamon, like
there's no oven.
There's no oven. You're making,
and there's not even a kitchen.
You're making cookies, but the recipe is it's completely different. And that's what I think Fred maybe not had to realize, but that was what he was working with. Was he was taking, and he had made some great cookies some other places, but he shows up at Nebraska. You don't have any of the ingredients you need to make cookies. You got to build from the ground up. You got to figure out what ingredients you're going to make. Hey, what cookies are going to make the people around here happy? You gave him that 4-year window that he needed in order to figure out, okay, what is the identity of my Nebraska basketball team is going to be? How am I going to take this program that has never won an NCAA tournament game and turn them into winners? Like there was so much. And that is one of the things that I don't know, it kind of makes me happy to think back on here, for the sense of accomplishment that could come for Fred from what he had to build here over the course of years to bring it to this point. It was years and years and years of hard work in the shadows. Nobody was watching. Nobody was paying attention. And he put his nose to the grindstone on a daily basis and built this out of nothing.
And I don't know if it was helpful or if it made it more difficult, maybe a combination of both. But the time that he came here too, when you start to have the inception of NIL and the transfer portal, because yes, it can make it more challenging, but at the same time, it can allow you some of those things that have always escaped you as far as building a team from within to be able to go out and maybe get someone to fit into your program and stuff like that too. Because let's face it too. I mean, when you have NIL, that money has to come from somewhere. And so from a program that has, never really been on the map, where at a school where most of your donors are fixated on football, and rightfully so. I mean, don't get me wrong. Football that's the cog at every school that spins the wheels. I mean, that's your revenue maker. But to get some of those same donors to say, hey, I want to build something here. Can you cut me a check? Also, just like the football program. And then, what you do with that check to be able to go out and convince someone like a 5-star like Bryce McGowan to come in and say, hey, you know what? I know that you can go somewhere like North Carolina, or you can go somewhere like Duke or Kentucky, and your picture can be on the wall, on a long wall of all the people that came before you. Or you know what, Bryce, you can come here and you can be picture number one, and you can be one of those cornerstones of something we're going to build here. And you got him to come here. And I'm not saying that this is the only reason, but it's stuff like that where you can convince someone to come here and to be the cornerstone and be, hey, this is where we're going to build it. And I am so glad that he is still here, regardless of what happens today, because I think this is just the beginning of now, because now what it's done is it's made people have paid attention, not just you and me, and not just Joe Blow that runs the ESPN show there in Vermont, but it's high school kids too that are now going to be watching today's game, watching the style of game that he's played. I want to come in. I want to be Price Sanford. I want to be Sam Hoiberg, and that's going to pick up his recruiting too. And so this has been a very instrumental season for many seasons to come.
And that's a great point here, because we talk about the build that Fred has. Let me give some credit to the guys that they're not on the team day, they're not on the floor today, but Nebraska's not here without them. Your guys, your Sam Griesels, Derek Walker, Manuel Bandamel, Jawan Gary, Trey McGowans, Bryce McGowans. They're guys.
Josiah
Alec, absolutely. The guys that they're not on the bench today, they're not on the floor today, but the guys that you have to give a ton of credit to, because Nebraska does not reach this point today if not for them.
Without their grinding.
And I look specifically at that Sam Griesel and Derek Walker edition that you made. Those were culture guys that got you right. Sam Griesel specifically.
Coming back home, doing what he did at the Dakotas, and then coming back home. Derek Walker deciding to stick around.
Another one, Casey. I can't believe I left Casey off of there. You wanted it bad for Casey 2 years ago. Casey was the guy that got some national attention to Nebraska and made people look and go, I want to play like Casey Tominaga. I want to play in an offense that lets the guy cast away like that. I'm a great 3-point shooter.
Go watch the Big Ten game in the first half against Indiana, and you can see the two Michigan fans sitting there courtside going crazy every time Casey would let go of the ball, and they stuck around because that was exciting to watch. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, don't leave him out, because that is just another piece of the puzzle to make Nebraska basketball more appealing to recruits, to the national media, and importantly, people that are deciding to open up their checkbooks to help out and get Fred what he needs to continue these good runs.
And that's why I wish all of those guys in years past could be on this team this year and experience the fruits of their labor. There were guys that worked so hard at Nebraska, and they're off playing professional careers and whatnot. Like, they've done well for themselves. Don't get me wrong here. But all those guys were working to get Nebraska that first NCAA tournament win, and they didn't get to experience it, but they laid the groundwork and they set the foundation for this team to go out and achieve from their work, from their labor.
You did get to see a lot of them came back for Legends Weekend, and I'm not so sure they would have, had we just been a downtrodden season, because Jerron Boone, first time back since I saw him in college, first time he came back, and Bryce and Trey, they could have went, and Isaiah, they could have went and participated in the All-Star festivities, but it was more important that they were here for this, and that says a lot.
Yeah, and I shout out to the McGowans brothers. They were here at a home football game in the fall, and for a guy like Bryce that came here for his 1 year, playing an NBA type offense, get your opportunity at the next level. So many guys now use the college as a 1 year stepping stone, and they don't care about their alma mater.
Not those two.
It's special to see. I know Trey was here for a couple years, but Bryce even as well.
Trey will even tell you too. This is where I played.
Yeah, this place means something to them. And there's a lot of guys out there that they played at Nebraska, but Nebraska was one of those schools where I played at Nebraska. I didn't play at Kansas. I didn't play at Kentucky. I played at Nebraska, unfortunately. I love the guys that wear Nebraska proudly, and those are two guys. It's not just basketball. They wear Nebraska proudly all together. And that's what this team is allowing for. This is a team that Husker fans can be proud of. And you can be extra proud of them if they go out and get that monkey off their back and win the NCAA tournament game. But win, lose, or draw today, well, there's no draws, but you know what I mean. This is a team that Husker fans have been proud of all year long, that you're proud of right now, that looking back years from now, you'll be proud of. This is that kind of special team. So enjoy it while you can. You never know when the run's going to end, Husker fans. It could end today in a couple of hours. You hope it doesn't. But sit back, enjoy it while you can, because this is one of those special seasons that you will think back on in 20, 30 years and be like, man,
I was there.
That team was special.
Elijah, let's take a break. Yeah. When we come back,
one more segment.
We'll wrap up on keys to win the game and get a score prediction from each of us when we return on the Morning Hookup. You give me enough time, I'll get the hang of it, I promise.
Okay, got one segment left here. Got about 6.5 minutes on the clock. So we'll give some keys, score prediction, what we think happens. They got to go get it done, man.
Get what done?
They got to get the win.
Well, now you're making me feel nervous.
They got to do it, man. Yeah,
I'm not here to feel nervous.
I'm
here to celebrate.
Husker basketball team is posting up on social media the traveling contingent. It is
enormous.
Yeah.
I don't think Troy knows what's about to hit them.
They've never played in their lives like in a crowd like they're going to have here.
Yeah.
There are so many. It's going to be like Troy, the fan base, the type of shooters they're playing against.
And it really bewilders me why PBA hasn't been selected for a first round site yet, as long as it's been open.
They're working on it.
That thing's been open for what, 10 years?
It's not about the arena. There's it's
the hotel
hotels, rental cars, airport.
And that wasn't an issue when we held it back at Devaney in 88.
It's a different time though.
People still need to eat and still need a place to sleep.
Just in terms of the contingents you get and the national attention, and now they have the regional host sites host more games now.
I got to watch Kansas and like Alcorn State, and Danny Manning was on that Kansas team.
No, I believe from what I've understood, they're getting there with the airport situation with the new flights that are coming into Lincoln. They have got
Breeze.
Yes, not Breeze.
Fabrice.
They've got the I think they're good on hotels, but they're working on rental cars and some other light things. But they're really, really close. They're working on it. I know they're hoping to have one here, hoping to have first round games here in the coming years. Talked about that with Jeff Mull on the Average Joe Sports Show last week.
I'm an average Joe.
Listen, he didn't dive into the specifics of where they're still deficient, but I've heard from other people where they're still deficient. So, I need to pick a song, don't I?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bring them out. Bring them out.
Nice. Coming back here. Welcome back into the morning hookup one final time on a Thursday to look on these eyes right now. Champion by Kanye West.
Okay.
It samples Steely Dan in Charlemagne.
That does not sound like Steely Dan.
Did you
Maybe I'm too old.
He gets filtered a little bit, but
okay.
Anyway, today is the day where the Huskers need to go out and be champions. Simple as that. Go out and play to that level that we've seen that you can play to. Embrace the moment. Play for Husker Nation. You're going to have, we kind of mentioned this during the break, you're going to have a fan and crowd support based on everything I'm seeing. Okay, see the text I'm getting, the pictures you're seeing. You're going to have home support at your neutral site, quote unquote, arena, like nobody else in the country is going to have. It's going to be a fan base cheering you on that Troy has never seen before this year. Go out and play for that fan base. Play for the team, use that energy. It's going to be, I think, freaking wild.
You have the computer at your fingertips. Maybe I'll ask you what Troy's average home attendance was this year. Elijah, one of my biggest deficiencies, I think, when I fill in for Hooksy, and I've said on the air before, is just I always forget to read some of the comments from the live streamers. But there was one in there that caught my attention. Is that Flood X10?
Yes,
Flood X10. He said, "Remember Larry today," and that is a great point. Larry passed away. Probably been about a year now, and he was very instrumental in some of those Danny Nee teams. And boy, he fought till the end. And I think Larry will be looking down today and probably be a little angel on his shoulder and pull them through. But there's so many. I talk about, my first year as being a fan, and obviously the star on that team was Dave Hoppin. And if you've ever been to a game at PBA, You can find Dave Hoppin. I think it's probably section 116 right by the aisle. Of course, he has to sit by the aisle because it's hard to put 6'11" in a seat, anything but the aisle. He's been there for years, so I know it's going to mean a lot to him. His jersey hangs in the rafters. I think he's still the all-time leading scorer in Nebraska history, to my recollection. Just so many stories like that. But today, for Nebraska, and I think T said, just kind of stay even keel. I'm in the boat where I want Troy. I want their head spinning. That talks about, the fans, the environment, how big this is. And we've all seen it where we toy around, but we have that great second half. And you had me very nervous until the 8-minute timeout in the second half when there was no reason to be. Go out there, hit them hard, hit them first, and don't look back.
Yeah, it's when that run comes. If you can put a run on this Troy team, you want to see them fold. And I think the earlier the run is, that better. You asked the question. Troy averages just under, somewhere between, depending on the season, 3,500 and 4,000 fans per game.
35 to 4, you say?
Yeah.
Would you say that's average for that conference?
It's probably slightly above. It's about 75% capacity per game. Their arena holds 6,000.
So, but I mean, and that conference, though, probably draws similar. So even on the road in a hostile environment, maybe playing in front of 4 or 5
tops. Yeah.
What's that going to look like today? Now
we'll see. The other side of that is maybe you do get, this is the most fans we ever played before in front of our lives, and you get that extra energy boost. But once things,
because they were in the tournament last year, correct?
Yes.
And they lost. Now maybe there was fans from 4 different schools there, and it wasn't just like all the Husker fans snatching up all the tickets like what they're going to see today. And yeah, that can go one of 2 ways. Normally, if you're not used to that, I find that hard to kind of channel that and use it against the team that has all the fans there, but we'll see. So Elijah, your keys, give me a score here.
I'll get to the score in just a
all
second.
right. Well,
I've mentioned this before. I think one of the keys is Rink Mast being himself down low. I think he's a load for a lot of folks, and we'll see. I'm not sure Troy's going to be ready for some Big Ten physicality in the low paint from Rink Mast. I think he needs to go out and play well. The other guy I have circled is, it sounds obvious because he's so steady, but I think Sam Hoiberg has got an advantage from the guard spot, being able to kind of drive the Ferrari with this team, find his guys. The better Sam plays, the better those shooters around the perimeter will play, the better a guy like Rink Mast plays. I have those 2 guys circled. Last one I have, Burke's got to do a whole bunch of dirty work down low. He's got to be a guy on the defensive end and rebounding. You might not see it show up in the stat sheet, but he's got to do some dirty work for this basketball team. He's embraced that role all year long. I don't expect him to shy away from that in this game, but he's going to need to be huge. I think you get all those things. I think you get a run from Nebraska that kind of gives them a lead that they maybe not sit on, but they feel comfortable with throughout the game. I don't think they cover, which is 13.5 right now.
Is it? Okay.
But I have Nebraska winning this basketball game 77-69.
77-69.
And I think Troy's offense doesn't look that good, but they get some offensive rebound, putback type things that help them stay in it. Let's say you.
I'm going with the bench. Jared Garcia needs to put in good quality minutes. When he does, we win. Obviously, I need Frager to go off and Kale to be Kale like he was against Iowa. It's the bench. That is going to be key.
I love that.
I am going 76-63. 13-point win. A little bit score lower than everyone else. Think the defense holds. So,
thank you everyone for hanging out with us. Nebraska and Troy tipping off here in under an hour. We'll be talking about it tomorrow morning on the Morning Hookup. Good luck to the Big Red.